Well, let's discuss this further now with our guest, Khalid Al-Qatar, financial expert, joining us from Doha, Qatar. Thank you very much for joining us on the programme. It's good to see you. Now, not all of the EU countries support the call for a price cap for Russian gas imports. Why is there such disunity on this issue, do you think?
Because most likely it will not work. Europe is in need of gas, in need of energy, and in the meantime, they are trying to impose a cap. I don't understand what's the logic behind this. And also, they wanted to boycott Russian gas, and the plan is to boycott by two-thirds, to reduce by two-thirds by the end of the year. And when Mr. Putin voluntarily reduced the supply of gas to Europe, gradually we hear them screaming. So I don't understand the logic. And in the meantime, you want to boycott your neighbor, which happened to be the largest country with gas reserve in the world, and second largest producer of gas in the world. And I don't know about the feasibility and the wisdom behind this. And in the meantime, you want to reduce the price, to control the price. I don't know how this will work. Europe seems to be more emotional in this regard than logical. So, if you want to boycott Russia, definitely the price will go up. And what about the free market economy that we have been advocating and we have been taught by the West and by the IMF and international financial institution and by the West? What happened to them now?
Well, as we know,
you see the point.
Yeah, Algeria, Qatar and Norway, as we know, are among the major gas suppliers to Europe. If a price cap is imposed on all imports, do you think they'll continue to supply the European market?
Most likely not, because each country will seek the benefits to maximize its benefit, will seek what's benefit for its investment, and most likely they will not. And I think Europe is not in a position to impose or to put conditions, particularly in this time, on other supplier of gas. This is a breaking ball battle between the West and between Russia. And over the short term, Europe is in a very difficult situation. Over the next coming 6 months, Europe is in very difficult situation, and I don't think they are in a position to put conditions rather in other countries. Either in Russia, let's not say on other independent supplier.
The president of the European Central...
Who will win this battle over the short run? This will determine the next. I don't know. I don't think Europe is in a good position even to boycott Russian gas at the moment. They are trying to boycott it, but when Russia reduced it by gradually, we saw how they were they were unhappy with it. So I don't know how will they come up to two-thirds, and they're trying to fill the gas, the storage before the harsh winter is coming.
Well, yeah, that's the question, isn't it? I mean, who stands to benefit if the gas price cap is imposed on all gas imports to Europe? I mean, is it the ordinary people?
I didn't get the question, but who will benefit?
Yes, who stands to benefit? Will it be? Is it to help the ordinary people, like they say?
Well, I think what Europe should have done in this case. They should subsidize the gas for their citizens, rather than trying to impose a price cap on other countries. It doesn't make sense. If this is the market, this is the mechanism of the market. Europe should have worked on this. This is a long-term issue. Europe should diversify their sources of import in order to relieve this pressure or this problem right now. But over the short term, there is no way that they to solve this issue by imposing cap on other countries, price cap on other countries, or by boycotting Russia in this moment. They should diversify their sources of gas import and diversify their sources of energy over the coming period. So it's a price that they have to pay because they haven't done the right job in the previous. They have committed the previous mistake by putting their eggs in Russia, and depending solely heavily or majorly on one country. They should.
The president of the European Central Bank has warned that if a total ban on Russian gas is imposed, it would lead to a recession across the Eurozone next year. Do you think that might be the reason why there is resistance to this embargo?
This is exactly what I'm trying to say. I don't think they should have Europe should have imposing embargo right now on Russia, or putting a price cap that might reduce the supply of gas, not in the interest of Europe itself at the moment, at this time.
European producers...
and it will lead to a recession in that case.
Mm-hmm. European producers, they've called for immediate EU action because the energy crisis is threatening the heavy industry, not just the ordinary people. So what are the possible consequences if an adequate solution is not found?
Well, it's a recession, and this industry will suffer grievously, because the energy is a major source of input for heavy industry, and as well as for consumer, and they will be impacted negatively.
Thank you for speaking to us today. We've been speaking to Khalid Al-Khater, a financial expert. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.